Welcome back to the On3 studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are set up for another big commitment. Thank you guys all for coming back here. Just recently on Wednesday, we all sat down for the 5-star commitment from Mike Matthews to Tennessee. But today, we got another big one on deck. As everybody gathers in and gets together, let's do me a favor. Subscribe to the On3 YouTube page. All right, so who are we here for today? It's 4-star defensive lineman T.A. Cunningham, the 6', 6.5", 270-pound defensive lineman from Miami Central High School in Miami, Florida. T.A. Cunningham is the 28th ranked defensive lineman in America in the 257th best player overall, according to the On3 industry team rankings. Now, T.A. Cunningham took one official visit in the summer, and that was to Penn State. But he did take 25 of unofficial visits throughout his recruitment, and Cunningham narrowed his list of schools down to a top 5 leading up to this big decision. Who will it be? Is it going to be Texas A&M, Miami, Penn State, Michigan, or Oklahoma? Now, earlier this week, I had the opportunity to sit down with Director of Scouting and Rankings Charles Power and ask him a little bit about what T.A. Cunningham brings to the field as a high school prospect. Now, Charles Power said he's a big athletic body that goes 6', 6.5", 275 pounds. T.A. Cunningham is versatile on the edge. He can play inside. But most of all, T.A. Cunningham just causes chaos. He's a disruptor in the middle. He can stop the run. He can get to the quarterback as well. And you just don't find prospects like T.A. Cunningham, this size, this frame, just growing on trees. What a prospect. Here he is in action. You can see him on the edge just dominating. He can get to the quarterback as well. We like T.A. Cunningham. He's a 4-star prospect here at On3. Now, T.A.'s getting set up. He's got friends and family all around. But first, we're going to check in on some national recruiting headlines. I said it at the top. Tennessee adds 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews, and they really just keep it rolling. They also get Edwin Spillman a commit. Now, here it is. On3 hosted this commitment. Mike Matthews, the moment it went down, shouting out Tennessee. This was such a great moment for Tennessee fans. They were going crazy. Number 1 linebacker is trending. Where is he trending to? Justin Williams, 5-star out of the state of Texas. Now it's 75% to UGA on the recruiting prediction machine. Justin Williams expected to make his decision Monday evening at 7 p.m. Central. He'll be doing it here on the On3 YouTube channel. Aaron Scott Jr., he's about to make his decision. Is it going to be Oregon? Is it going to be Ohio State? The 4-star corner, top 50 overall prospect out of Springfield, Ohio, is set to make his decision at the end of the month. Now, Michigan is also in this one. They should be mentioned. Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon. We'll find out where Aaron Scott is going on July 30th. Another big decision coming up. Taylor Tatum, did you guys see it? The running back, the number 1 not just the running back, but the number 1 running back in the country out of the state of Texas, committed to Oklahoma yesterday over USC, a big get for the Sooners. They needed that one. So let's take a quick look at the 2024 top 10 team rankings. Now, I caution you, these team rankings could change based on where T.A. McClendon goes, but as it stands now, Georgia number 1, Ohio State, Florida, Alabama, and Michigan at 5. You got USC, Tennessee making a big move up the charts, Penn State at 8, Texas A&M at 9, and Clemson sitting there at 10. All right. Thank you guys for all being here. We're getting set for a big live commitment. 4-star defensive lineman T.A. Cunningham, 6'6", 275, the number 28 ranked defensive lineman in America. Who will it be? Is it going to be Miami, Michigan, Oklahoma, Penn State, or Texas A&M? So as we are just moments away, let's bring on Director of Recruiting for On3, Chad Simmons. Chad, thanks for stopping in. T.A. has been on the recruiting scene for a long time. What do you think has attracted him to college football programs?
Yeah, Josh, I've had the pleasure to know T.A. from the beginning, him and his family. He's been on this journey for, really 3+ years. So getting offers from schools across the country. at an early age, his process was kind of accelerated. He got the visits done early, making an early decision now before his senior season. And I think at first, a little bit more about the glitz and glamour, who showed the most love, the most attention. But I think over time, as TA went through this process and started to kind of figure out exactly what he was looking for, I think it came down to be who was being real with him, who was being genuine, who kind of would protect him on the next level. So for me, I think whoever he felt was being true to him and his family has the best shot to land him today, Josh.
All right. Well, TA, as you said, TA has made a lot of visits. He had the opportunity to do this since a freshman in high school. Now he's cut his list down to a top 5, but who do you think the top contenders are, as we're just moments away from his big announcement?
Yeah, like you said earlier, he's given, multiple schools a real shot to land him, taking 20 plus visits throughout the process and obviously taking one OV. But in the end, I think the schools that have been most attached to TA's name have probably been Miami, Penn State, and Texas A&M. I think very early on in the process, maybe USC was a name you were hearing a lot. They did not make the cut in the top 5, but then at different times over the last 5, 6, 7 months, you've heard Miami, you've heard Penn State, you've heard Texas A&M. I think the most attached to TA's name.
All right. Thanks, Chad. We're about ready to go to TA, where he is getting set up with friends and family, but also be sure to follow him on both Instagram and Twitter. T.A. Cunningham, 4-star defensive lineman out of Miami Central High School. Take a look at these social handles. Be sure to follow along, as his career is just about to take off. You want to follow along with T.A. for the distance. Now, the 28th ranked defensive lineman, 257th best player overall. It looks like he's getting set up. I got T.A. Cunningham. How are you feeling? Today's your big day. What are the emotions like for you?
I'm just excited, man.
All right. Well, you narrowed your list of schools down to a top 5. What are some of the things that mattered most to you when you were defining your final teams?
Really, honestly, I feel like you can get developed coming out of any school. So I really look for people. I'm a big people person, and I was just looking for the best fit, the best relationships possible. And these schools made the cut.
All right. Well, you got the hats on the table. Say your thank yous, TA, and let us know where you'll be committing to college.
All right. First, I'd like to thank God for just giving me the ability to play the sport of football. I'd like to thank my family for supporting me throughout this entire process. I'd like to thank everybody in front of me for just showing up and supporting me. I'd like to thank every coach I've ever worked with and trainer to develop. But it's time to make it time to make a choice, man.
It's time.
We're going to Penn State, baby.
There it is, Penn State for T.A. McClendon. Got the Nittany Lion hat on. T.A., tell me, when did you know it would be Penn State?
I'm not gonna lie. They were my first official visit. I took the visit. I felt great coming off of it. I really honestly wanted to commit on the spot, but I just wanted to just run things over with my family, make sure everything was good, and just make sure all the feelings I was feeling were real.
All right. What was Coach Franklin's reaction when you told him you were committing?
Coach Franklin, man, he was jumping up and down. I could hear him jumping up and down, man. Coach Franklin, that's my guy. He's a great coach, a great person, and he's just Coach Franklin, man.
Yeah. All right. Tell Nittany Lion fans what they're getting in defensive lineman T.A. Cunningham when he hits campus.
Everybody's going to come on here and say they're a dog, man, but I'm a wolf, man. I eat dogs. So, like, I see myself as an aggressive player. I see myself as a versatile player. I can play inside. I can play outside. It really doesn't matter. I like to chase the ball down. I'm not going to stop running after the play just because it's on the other side of the field. I'm going to just give my all, and that's all I can give.
All right, TA. Well, thank you for committing live on the On3 channel. Go celebrate. I know you got friends and family. Go enjoy the day. Have some fun. There you have it. T.A. Cunningham, 4-star defensive lineman from Miami Central. commits to Penn State. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think early on I had Miami in this one. I put in a prediction on the recruiting prediction machine for the Canes back in the spring when news first hit that T.A. Cunningham was going to be at Miami Central High School. But look at this. In the end, it's Penn State. So let's bring back on Chad Simmons. Chad, Miami and Oklahoma, they couldn't hold off Penn State for four-star defensive lineman T.A. Cunningham. What do you think it was that put the Nittany Lions over the top?
We've been this for a long time, Josh, you and I both. I mean, I think we have always said and always heard, follow the visits. You know, obviously Penn State got that lone official. That was big in this decision for him. And I think he said it. He's a people's person. I think at first he was looking at maybe playing time, maybe location, all those types of things that typical recruits look for early in the process. But I think it came down to relationships, where he felt most protected, who would take care of him on and off the field, and who would also develop him as a man and as a player. And obviously James Franklin's been involved since his sophomore year. D-line coach Deion Barnes played a big role in this decision as well. I think it came down to the people, comfort level, and where he felt the safest, and that community around those type of people at Penn State. So I think just those guys keeping it real, being 100% with him and his family from the very beginning paid off in the end for TA and Penn State.
Yeah, relationships matter, and Penn State's the program that made him feel most at home. You could kind of tell that. Now, Penn State defensive coordinator Manny Diaz goes back into Miami and pulls one of the best prospects in the city. What would T.A. Cunningham bring to the Manny Diaz defense?
Yeah, I think you and Charles hit on it early on when you're talking about TA as a prospect, Josh. I mean, I think athleticism, I think still true upside there. I mean, he's a guy that was hit last year by the transfer rule going out to Los Alamitos and missing about half the season. He was bit by the injury bug a little bit as well. I think the best football is still ahead for T.A. Cunningham, and they're going to get a great player and a great kid to work with and develop up at Penn State, whether it be Manny, Deion Barnes, James Franklin, that entire staff. Obviously, you mentioned you can't teach size. He's 6'6 plus, 275 pounds. He's long. He can run. I think he's interchangeable as far as inside or outside defensive line prospect. And I've seen him, again, going back to freshman, sophomore year here at Georgia. In Georgia, I saw him play last year in California. I'll see him early in the season at Miami Central as well, later on next month in August. And he's a kid that has a lot of raw tools and still a lot of good football ahead of him. So I think Penn State, the fans, the coaching staff, all have to be excited about what they have to work with in the future.
Well, Chad, I know you've been covering T.A. Cunningham for a long time, since his freshman year in high school, so appreciate you being here for the big moment. All right. Thank you. Four-star T.A. Cunningham commits to Penn State. A huge pickup for James Franklin and the boys. Yesterday, though, Penn State added Massachusetts four-star offensive lineman Liam Andrews. And the Nittany Lions are rolling. Let's take a look at the updated top 10 rankings. Look, I told you things might change. Still Georgia at top. You got Michigan there at 5. But look at Penn State with the addition of T.A. Cunningham. They jumped 2 spots into the 6th spot, knocking on the door of a top 5 class right now. Then you got USC at 7. Tennessee still hanging out in the top 10 at 8. A&M at 9 and Clemson 10. Whew. T.A. Cunningham commits to Penn State over Miami, over Oklahoma, Michigan, and Texas A&M. Another monster commitment here in the On3 studios. Thank you guys all for hanging out and watching live. We got more to come. Justin Williams, the 5-star linebacker out of Texas, he's going to be making his decision here on the On3 platform. So do me a favor. If you're still here, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. We got more commitments coming. We appreciate you guys all for hanging out with us today for another live commitment right here in the On3 studios in Nashville, Tennessee.